Alright, so now we will learn about the grid template CSS shorthand property. So if I go to the documentation here, the documentation is a little bit confusing right now. So the grid template CSS property is a shorthand property for defining grid columns, grid rows, and grid areas. So here are the syntax, okay? And here we have the constituent properties. Inside of that, we have the grid template areas, grid template columns, and grid template rows. So we are not worrying about the grid template areas. We will learn those in the upcoming video. Okay, so we will just see how we can use the grid template columns and grid template rows. Okay, all right. So if I just go here, as you can see, what exactly is the syntax? It is first the grid template areas, which is optional. We can use that or we cannot. Then we have the grid template rows, and then we will have to have a forward slash, and then we have to have the grid template column values. Okay, so for example, what I'll do here, I'll just comment out these two. Okay, and here what I'll do something like 1fr 1fr, and for the template rows as well, what I'll do 1fr 1fr and 1fr. Okay, hit save. Now as you can see, we have this particular layout. Okay, so this is quite good, but we can achieve the same thing by using only the grid template CSS shorthand property. So grid template, and then first of all we have to have the grid template rows. So that is currently right now 1fr 1fr 1fr, then a slash, and then we have to have the grid template columns here. So 1fr and 1fr. Okay, semicolon, and here I'll just comment out these two lines, save. Now we have the same result. So we can do something like that, or we can change it up as well. So we can do something like 2 rows and 3 columns. So 1fr. If we do that, then we have 3 columns and 2 rows. Okay. So as you can see, in that way, we can use the grid template CSS shorthand property. Okay. So this is basically that. Also, just to point out some of the things here. So we have these sort of syntaxes as well, like something like this. Okay. And this is now a little bit confusing, I know. But in the upcoming lectures, what I'll do, I will definitely cover the grid template areas, and then it will be much more easier to understand. Okay, so we can do something like that. So we have all of these values. Okay, so here what we can do something like, here we can change it up as well. So for columns, I want the second column to have the 2 fractional value. If I do that, as you can see, that happens. Or I want something like 2fr for this one as well. Okay, for the second row, then this happens. So okay, so we can change it up as much as we like, and also we can use the percentages as well. So for example, what I can do something like 25%, something like that. If I do that, then this happens. Okay, okay, then we can use the pixel values as well, something like 500 pixels, something like that. So this happens. As you can see, this is now 500 pixels of height. Okay, so we can do something like only with the fractions as well, 1fr. So in that way, we can use the grid template CSS shorthand properties. So as you can see, for the syntax, what we have the grid template rows first, and then we have to have the grid template columns. Okay, so this is how we can use the grid template CSS shorthand property.